From Julio Cruz and Gaylord Perry to Alvin Davis and Harold Reynolds to father and son back to back bombs. From Junior J, Joey, and Edgar with Randy, A-Rod, Dan, and the Sheriff to Ichiro Moyer and Mikey C to King Felix, Kyle Cruz, and Cano to the present with Julio, Gilbert, Kirby, and Cal. I don't believe it. It just continues. My, oh my, it's another sports podcast. My, oh my, our Mariners keep winning series after series right now. And for the NFL fans out there, we got rookie mini camps underway. Some of your favorite draft picks might be turning some heads this weekend. Of course, we have the winter sports playoffs in the NBA and NHL. But my, oh my, it's another sports podcast. Got to give a huge shout out to super producer Indy out there in Nashville, Tennessee, rocking the ones and twos. That's Vaden Podcast Services. Vaden Podcast Services. They bring this show to life. Got to give a huge shout out to all the homies in the live chat. Thank you so much. We love the fire and the energy you guys bring to the show. We got a pinch hitter today. My main man RG is out there working that grave shift, trying to buy him a spaceship and fly. So, friend of the show, our resident catcher, JerryB6. My oh my, what's going on, brother?
How's it going, man? Happy to be here.
Happy to see you, man. There's a lot that's happened. I know you're a Seattle sports fan down the line, just like I am, representing the local teams. And Texas Power, we got you again. We're now 5-1 against the Rangers on the season, bro. But let's just rewind a little bit. It's been a fun season that started out terrible, but this team surging. Just anything you want to say about the Mariners, take the floor.
Yeah, it's been wild. I mean, just like you said, it was a terrible start, and it was almost just felt like, well, here goes another one. I mean, especially after the off season we had, everyone was very disappointed and thinking that Polanco was our big signee, and what a mistake that was going to be. And lo and behold, he's one of the best hitters in baseball right now, even with the limited opportunities. But yeah, this last 3 weeks or so has been it's been a fun ride. You know, coming home from work, just waiting for a Mariners game. Their off days feel like long days.
Yeah.
I don't like the off days when they're hot like this. But I mean, even today was rough, and didn't even feel that bad. Already having the series win locked up, and like
Mhm.
it's okay. Got the rookie and some more experience out there, so that's always good. But yeah, it's been nice with all the injuries. It just seems like the next man up mentality is strong in that dugout right now.
Mhm. Mhm. For real, man. Well, random guys have stepped up and produced, stepped up and played some good baseball. Because you mentioned the injuries, man. And if you told me, let's just think, Kirby hasn't even pitched. Logan's only pitched a few starts. Robles got hurt in like the second series of the season. Bliss is out for the season. I mean, if you told me those guys were all hurt like that, I think we would be doing kind of shitty, frankly. And so I'm so happy about this team to step up and really get rolling in these critical moments because the team started 3-7. Like I'm not going to forget that because although we got Mariners Lifer and Texas Power Rangers saying it's a long season, which it is, dude, I firmly believe you can dig yourself such a big hole if you start out to in such a terrible way. You're not going to be able to dig yourself out of it by the end of the season. So huge for the Mariners. I know we've talked about this before, dude. Like Dan Wilson and Edgar Martinez, we were both so high on last season, but we both acknowledge it's a small sample size. But what's crazy, dude, I have it written down here. Dan Wilson as the manager, it's almost identical. When he took over last year, 21-13. This season, the Mariners are 20-13 right now. That's good for over 61% winning percentage. So, are we able to believe a little bit in this new coaching staff?
Yeah, that sounds very consistent. I mean, considering finished the year with that and had the whole off season and got right back to it. I mean, it's hard to argue. Hard to argue against unless things take a real big turn for the worse for the rest of the season. But yeah, I mean, like you were talking about the injuries, like everyone was already up in arms with the starting lineup we put out opening day. Like to have the all these AAA guys that we're bringing up and having fill in like Master Boney and uh, you know, uh, what's his name? Townsend? Who's the Thomas? Ryan Thomas? Is that the new guy
Oh yeah, yeah,
that just
major
debuted
league
this
debut.
week?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even he had a good debut, and I think Ben Williamson has been
Yeah.
a major factor. I mean, his bat's kind of cooling off a little bit, but his defense is a game changer for us. I think that was
Mhm.
a big turning point. Nothing against Polanco, but I think Ben's glove plays a little better over there on the hot corner.
Mhm. Yeah, it's not even close.
Right.
That's not even close. I'm glad you
Throwing.
mentioned that too, dude. I'm so glad because, in my opinion, third base is a premium fielding position, in my opinion,
Hmm.
and it kind of gets forgotten. But everyone who knows, man, that ball gets on you so goddamn fast. You got to be a little bit crazy and be an exceptional fielder with a cannon for an arm to play third. So, shout out Ben Williamson.
Yeah, having Polo with the intentional short hops to first was a little suspect game strategy to me.
Uh, it shows he has a second baseman's arm, and I would know because
Yeah,
that's why I played there, not over there, man.
right.
That's a long ass throw, man. Until you really know, like that is a really long throw, anywhere from third base to first base.
Hmm.
So
I definitely would have had us in the top for home runs and just any offensive categories, but yeah, the bats are playing right now.
for real, man. I was gonna get into Texas a little bit since we just played them and they're a divisional rival,
Hmm.
but since you brought that up, the I'm looking at this, and what's crazy to me is Texas. Ironically, they're usually known as a hitting team, with the exception of Nolan Ryan. Other than that, I always think of hitters for Texas. But they switched roles with the Mariners. They actually have a really sneaky good rotation, and the Mariners are freaking bashing the ball. So role reversal here, but the Mariners are fourth in runs per game, third in home runs per game, first in walks per game, they are 13th in team average. So that's at least solid. If you're going to hit that many home runs, your average only needs to really be middle of the pack, which it is. But second on base percentage, man. So we're walking guys on and hitting home runs to get them home. So that can work, that can play. And to finish this off with my stats, dude, is the Mariners still have the most left on base per game, but fourth in runs per game. We're leaving a lot of meat on the bone, man. We could really be getting down and funky, dude, if we get some more clutch hits here.
Yeah, 100%. But I mean, you don't even really think about it with how many runs we have been scoring, which is the weird thing.
Hmm.
So I was talking with a buddy earlier this week, and like I don't think we had a single game where we scored over 10 runs last year, and already this year it kind of seems like a regular thing putting up that many runs. Been kind of wild.
Yeah, no doubt, man. So the Texas Rangers now are at 17 and 18, but they're only 4 games back. So we know this story. In baseball, your record might not look nearly as good as how close you are to actually making the playoffs. And the one thing I'm going to say about Texas, dude, is I'm actually worried about them long term still. Very much so. I'm looking at the Rangers starting pitchers. They have 4 starters with a 3.28 ERA or lower. And then I'm looking at two of their high paid supposed stars. Marcus Simeon's hitting 180. Jock Peterson's hitting frickin' 094. I will be shocked if they're that shitty all year. So I'm with you, Texas, and I mean, I got to be real too. The Texas Rangers were one of my bounce back teams this year. I definitely picked them to do so because the starting pitching it can match up with anybody. Yeah, it's surprising to say, but that's really the truth right now. And so if they get some of their proven hitters to get going, that could be a team on the come up, and that's why I'm pumped that at least for now, bro, we could be seeing Kirby soon. Hopefully, Logan Gilbert isn't going to need surgery and is able to make it back in that reasonable, like 2 to 4 week time frame. So the Mariners need to get healthier because I foresee some of these teams in the division winning a lot more games than one game under 500.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like I it seems like we always match up well with the Rangers. Like for
Mhm,
whatever reason, seems like we always have a favorable record throughout the season, but definitely like outside of us, the Rangers take care of business, so they're always a force to be reckoned with. And yeah, you
mhm,
brought up a good point. Simeon has not played up to his numbers, and he's gonna get hot. And Josh June, he's a stud. Yeah, he's a solid third baseman. And that Langford kid, he's a stud. Like
yeah.
they got the bats, and yeah, you're right. Their pitching is under the radar just because of their star power they got in their lineup.
Hmm.
And I don't think you can ever write off the Astros. Like until proven otherwise, gotta gotta you always gotta be watching your back with them.
Mhm. Well, every year they lose guys, and every year they end up in playoff position at the end of the season. So, and it's not like they're that far back. The Mariners are playing really damn good baseball overall, but it's still early. And I always say, Jerry, just tread water for the first couple of months. It's such a long season. Just don't do so shitty that your hopes are crushed this early. Because, I mean, we saw it last year with the Mariners. RG always references they lost a 10-game lead faster than basically any team in Major League history. And if their 10-game lead collapse didn't happen in June and it happened in September, then the national level would notice how spectacular of a fall off it was. So we gotta keep playing good baseball, man. And Tommy's right. The A's are there too. They hit the shit out of the ball. The A's hit the shit out of the ball. And as funny as it is, there's so much good pitching in the game. I feel if you can hit, you can go with anybody.
Absolutely. Yeah, the A's have been sneaky good. I feel like they're always pesky for us, but it seems like this year they dumped a little bit of money into the team, and
Mhm.
now
They
these
did.
these rookies they brought up are like, all right, let's do something with this.
Hmm.
Put us in
Hmm.
Sacramento, see what happens.
That's funny you mentioned that too, because the Mariners are going to make their Sacramento debut Monday or Tuesday night. So
Hmm.
we'll see about that. God, it feels good to be a Mariners fan though right now. It really
It really
does.
does.
It really does. I mean, we got these cats on here who won World Series recently. We never even been. We're the only team in baseball that's never been to the World Series. So this this fan base has been so hungry for such a long time, Jerry, and I know you're a local huge Mariners fan. And I always say it's easy to be a Seahawks fan because even if they don't go to the Super Bowl every year, they're consistently an over 500 team, man. It is so much easier to be a Northwest football fan than a baseball fan. So I can really ride with guys like you that have stuck with the Mariners for so darn long.
Yeah, it can be tough at times, that's for sure. But yeah, you got a good point. Seahawks got the Super Bowl win, and they've got a couple appearances, so you know that buys you a lot of leeway. But it seems like the Seahawks are starting to turn things around with this new regime, so I'm excited for that.
Oh hell yeah! I want to dive deep into the Seahawks just in a minute though, because I still have a
Mm,
couple of questions for you, bro. And
absolutely.
Tyson Baxter, I did not see this. The Jackson Holiday multi home run game. This guy, number one prospect in baseball for a long time. He's struggled. A lot of these guys do, man. Very few are Ken Griffey Juniors and Alex Rodriguez and come out the gate being a quality player at such a young age. They're the exception. Almost every star is always going to struggle early, so that's huge for the Orioles. But I got to ask you, man, simple. Cal Raleigh, I know you're a former catcher, bro. Talk to me. This guy is unbelievable right now.
It's unreal. Yeah, he's they did him right by giving him money, and I still think
Hmm.
he's underpaid. Like
Yeah.
he's yeah, we got a deal for him. Yeah, he's switch hitting monster. Great defensively. He owns our uh our pitchers. Like he
Hmm.
takes control of the game. Like all the pitchers trust him, and like when he's behind the dish, there's zero doubt that something's gonna get messed up on his end. Like it's if anything happens, it's gonna be communication issue. Like something got lost in translation. It's not gonna
Hmm.
be from his
Hmm.
mindset.
Okay. How much do you think the torpedo bat has helped Cal?
I really don't know. I mean, I'm not like when I was hearing all that drama with the Yankees and stuff when the torpedo first came to light. I mean, I it's so hard to know like what these bats do. Like every single hitter has their own preference and every
Hmm.
single bat is so different, like weight distribution wise, shape, lengths, diameters. Like I it might just be something just when he got a hold of it, it felt good. And
Hmm.
I mean, because
That's true.
he doesn't use it from the right side, so
Mm.
it's got to be just a field thing.
Okay. Okay. I honestly think that to me, like as we've seen it evolve, and there's still way more players that use a traditional bat. Don't get it twisted. But to me, I think the torpedo bat is awesome if you're an elite player. Because here's what I'm thinking, man. Like when you're playing baseball, it's hard enough to always hit the sweet spot. So it's nice when the bat's a little more even across the board if you're not elite as a hitter. And so I see Aaron Judge and Cal Raleigh. They're using the torpedo bats, but they're so confident in their swing, left handed, like you said, for Cal. But they're so confident with their swing, and they barrel the ball up at such a frequent rate that it works great for them. But very few people, even in the major leagues, have the confidence and the barrel skills of an Aaron Judge or a Cal Raleigh, where for mere mortals, you just wouldn't be effective because you need the bat to have more of an overall density across the board because you're going to hit it off the end. You're going to get it on the handle more than some of these truly elite players. And that's just my opinion on the whole
Yeah.
situation.
And I think another addition, especially to your confidence factor, is I think it benefits more pull ball hitters because
Mm,
like Julio, he didn't like it. Like as soon as he
mm,
started swinging with it, but he's usually, you know, he's trying to spray it all over the field, and like when you hit it off the end on that bat, it doesn't do what it's intended for. So like Aaron Judge or even Jazz Chisholm and Cal,
mm,
like I was trying going through my head on Cal, like all of his left-handed hits, and it seems like especially when he hits a homer, it's always the right field or right center. So I
mm.
think it's a benefit for a pull ball hitter.
Okay. I like that, man. Well, this is kind of cool because it kind of took the league by storm, and I just like kind of sitting back and seeing how it goes, you know. And we're seeing a lot fewer players use it than I thought we would, just because it was so popular. But that's kind of
Mm.
how new things are. The new things are popular, and then sometimes it's a fad, sometimes it has staying power. But Sunday Evening Media brought up a really good question for us earlier. We'll ask you first, man. Who do you have as the team MVP so far for the Mariners?
I mean, I think it's got to be Cal. I mean, if not Cal, Polanco. I mean, Cal just from the standpoint of what he does defensively and what he has done offensively, but Polanco, like when he's in the batter's box, he's been a machine this year.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, that's a pretty impressive 1-2 punch there. I mean, Polanco has been absolutely unbelievable. Mariners lifer, that's who I was thinking. Brian Wu also. Maybe that's who we should do because Cal is so far and away the MVP of this team right now. You referenced it earlier in the show, just all the different aspects of the game he affects, like calling the pitches, blocking, throwing. You add in all of his hitting prowess. So if he's
And
a
plus,
runaway, and then you got Polanco, take pitchers out, take away Cal and Polanco. Now I think it's a head scratcher because those guys have been unbelievable.
yeah, um, I think, I mean, would you have to go Demo? Like
Oh, I
he's,
like it.
I mean, before the injury, he was right up there with Polanco as far as being one of the hottest hitters we had, and he had some good defensive plays out there. I mean, a couple blunders, but I'd say Demo's had a solid start, his best start to the year for his career. Got to be.
Yeah, yeah. Good point. Good point. And Demo was carrying us early
Hmm.
because guys weren't getting hot right away. JP was well below the Mendoza line before he caught fire and has been doing work. Mitch Garver's stats aren't sexy, but he's improved a ton over the season and especially compared to last year. But I just forgot about a guy, man. How do we forget? Andres freaking Munoz, bro, coming out breathing
Yeah.
fire. I love this guy. He is so fun to watch pitch, man. I'm looking down here. He's now 16 outings and still hasn't allowed a run. 16 outings and hasn't allowed a run. Unbelievable. Shout out Dan Wilson, too. I said it last week, but I'm going to stand on this one for a while, man. The the analytics are going to tell you to use your best closer, your best few relievers up and down throughout the innings, depending on the high leverage situations. But analytics don't account for a human, though. And every human at their job generally performs better when you kind of know what you're getting into each day at your given job. So I think Munoz just being a ninth inning beast again. He's a lot more comfortable, and that we all are. We all perform better at our jobs when we're feeling comfortable.
Yeah. No, it's 100% confidence once Munoz takes the mound.
Tyson, I don't know if he could probably top out 103, but Andres Munoz is usually more like 98 to
Night.
101 for the most part.
Yeah.
Munoz, that's the thing though, is Tyson's wondering about starting versus closing, and I don't know what Munoz's pitches would look like if he was starting. Just because when you know you're a one inning guy, man, you are just emptying the tank with your filthy stuff. So I don't know where he would land in terms of a starter has to kind of conserve their arm to a certain level to make it, 5, 6 innings. And I know where that sounds cheap, like when we're talking about Nolan Ryan and Randy Johnson, but that's today's era. So 5 or 6, you got to be happy with. But that the stuff always goes down a little bit when you pitch a long time. Well, is there anything else on the Mariners you really want to touch on right here, or
I mean, I think we pretty much hit it.
yeah,
Uh,
no doubt.
just pumped to be a Mariners fan right now. Good
I
times.
know
Gotta
we
enjoy it
we
while
got
it's here.
we gotta, and this team's gotta stack up wins too. We
Hmm.
gotta keep rolling because I'm not joking. I'm not worried about Anaheim anymore, and of course, God bless his soul, Mike Trout gets hurt again against the Mariners. I mean, he is still an all-time great, but an undependable player at this point. But the
Hmm.
Mariners got to keep rolling, man, because I promise you, between Houston, Texas, and Sacramento, God, I almost mess that up every time.
Sacramento.
Every time. Those three teams are going to be coming all year. So the Mariners got to be on their A game consistently like they have been 8 straight series wins, or they'll get caught again. I promise that. They got to keep rolling.
Hmm. Definitely got to take care of those division series.
Oh, seriously. Because every divisional win is almost like winning 2 games in a way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Well, it's been a while since we talked. I know we talked sometime after the Seahawks, after the Mariners, sometime in the late fall or winter time. So let's rewind a little bit. Let's rewind a little bit. You're a huge Seahawks fan, I know. And I know the draft just happened, but let's go in the time machine a little bit, man. We traded DK Metcalf. We traded Geno Smith. We cut franchise stalwart Tyler Lockett. What do you think about getting rid of 3 of the top players and replacing them in a very different way? What do you think about all the Seahawks offseason moves they've gotten so far?
I mean, they all didn't necessarily hurt me. They weren't necessarily surprising. Like, I love Tyler Lockett, and he's forever going to be one of the great Seahawks receivers to me. But he is aging, getting expensive. Like, I mean, I think we could have done the deal that Tennessee gave him for sure. Like, he's definitely worth that. Like, just from his experience and knowledge alone, like what he could have done with these young receivers, and I'm sure he did with JSN, because he had a phenomenal year last year.
Mm,
But DK, like he's great. Love the star power, love the attention or whatever he likes to get, and his edge he had. But sometimes you just couldn't keep his cool and have that costly personal
mm,
foul penalty. Just when we get things rolling, just sends things backwards on us. Um, he had some pretty costly drops. Like he
yeah.
wasn't Tyler Lockett with the hands. So great player. He had some big catches, clutch catches. Um, he might be hard to replace as far as that big target, but I think hopefully I'm thinking that Arroyo could be his replacement.
Mm,
But
mm,
and then Gino, I like Gino. Like I didn't have a problem with him, but like when it came down to it, crunch time, fourth down, third down and long or whatever, end of the game, last 2 minutes, I just feel like he cracked under pressure.
mm,
Scramble too long, hold too long, throw that interception, whatever. But I mean, he had some great games. I'm happy he turned his career around with us and wish the best for him. But I don't think he's going to be a Super Bowl caliber
mm,
quarterback. So I think these are all necessary moves. Uh, make this team Mike McDonald's team. Turn the page. It's time to move
mm.
forward.
Let's do it, man. And they're clearly moving forward. Getting rid of 3 of the most popular players is always hard to do. It takes an. I want to give some props to Jody Allen, actually, because not every owner in pro sports is going to allow their front office to just get rid of arguably the 3 most popular players on the team. It's still a business. They need to sell tickets, they need to sell jerseys, they need to, sell all the concessions, and those cost an arm and a leg, as everybody knows. So to allow her front office to make those type of moves is a good sign. It's a really good sign. We've seen the Mariners over the course of their history sign plenty of guys like that had no business really being on the team, but it made the fans feel good. So I got to give her credit for that.
Yeah, absolutely. She lets the people who know their job do their job. She doesn't get in the way too much.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. I see Tyson doesn't like how, because so Tyson Baxter is a diehard Baltimore Ravens fan, bro, and so he doesn't want to see DK Metcalf twice a year. But if Mason Rudolph and Will Howard are their quarterbacks right now, I ain't worried about no DK Metcalf because they don't have anybody that's gonna get the ball to him consistently.
Yeah, yeah. But I think sorry, I got lost in reading comments there. um so Tyson is a Ravens fan. He's going to Pittsburgh. Doesn't want to see him twice a year. Yeah, I think he could be a problem there in Pittsburgh, especially who's their quarterback? They got Russell, right? No, that
they
was
got
last year.
they got rid of
Russell's a
Russell,
giant
man.
now. Yeah, he's a giant now. That's right. Um, who's gonna be their quarterback?
Well, Tyson's right. The Pittsburgh's got to go for Aaron Rodgers because if they don't, oh, maybe they'll be able to pick so high next season. You know, if you got Mason Rudolph, who's famous for getting his swung at with the helmet here, so, you know that it's not looking good in that. But Pittsburgh's always good. But forget it. I don't even want to talk about the damn Steelers, man. What about the Seahawks, bro? I
Yeah,
mean, I know RG's listening, and he's gonna be like, bro, y'all ain't shit. His team just won the Super Bowl, but there's so much reason to be optimistic. Dude, we finally drafted an offensive guard in the first round, which we desperately needed. That made me so happy. We want to run the ball. Well, you got to put your money where your mouth is, man, and they actually did it.
yeah, no, absolutely. It seemed like they hit on just about everything as far as I'm concerned, whether it's value wise or need wise. Not reaching. I mean, it sounded like they were trying to trade back in the first, but weren't getting the deal they were hoping for. Which honestly, I think that's great then, because we got a guy that we desperately needed, and he sounds like he's going to be a beast and can play pretty much anywhere on the line.
Mm, it was critical. And I mean, I get Sunday evening media. If he busts, yeah, well, and I mean, any prospect can bust. It's the probability says that the it probably is going to happen. You know, so you just gotta hope that the guy turns out to be who you thought he was. But it's obviously an imperfect science. I'm pumped though, because they didn't get cute, like you said, looking to trade down, maybe not getting the ammo. But I always worry, you know, you trade down, and what if you miss your guy? Then you're fucked.
Yeah, absolutely. Or trade down and then everything else you're hoping for goes off the board, and
Yeah.
then you're taking a swing on something you didn't necessarily need, and then he busts too.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. You trade down, you trade down, you trade down, and then you end up with like LJ Colliers of the world with
uh,
your first round
yeah,
pick,
I was
man.
just about to say something about that. I think
Yeah,
that
for real though.
I think they learned their lesson from that one. Not
Oh,
not
yeah.
not forcing a pick, you know.
Mm.
And didn't they trade back also that year?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And
Yeah,
I have no problems with trading back, but at a certain point, like it's a risk reward situation, and I love to get more draft picks because, like we're talking about, many of these guys are not going to pan out. That's just the way it works. No matter how optimistic you are about prospects and rookies, but you got every time you trade down, man, it's that risk. You risk a bunch of the good players going before you're going to be able to pick again. It's getting cute. Sometimes, I mean, and maybe it's I'm not very risk averse, bro. But I would like to have the sure thing than to get cute and trade down and hope.
yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I was expecting maybe a little bit more defensive picks because what we
Mm,
only got two this year, but I think they got enough bites at the apple for the line of scrimmage on offense this year with the tight ends and the offensive linemen they got later on in the draft. Some of them got to be serviceable at least. compared to what we have been having out there.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt, no doubt. And serviceable can be fine, man. You can't have guys that are allowing those instant pressures. That's what kills you. We don't need you to be Walter Jones. You're not going to be Walter Jones. So just make sure that you are putting up a fight, man. There's too many times where that instant pressure, our running back, 4 yard loss, sack for 10 yard loss. That shit can't be having. Mariners lifer, I still don't know how to pronounce this dude's name. The tight end out of Alabama, Oos. This dude's a
Oost.
freaking rock. He is a
Yeah,
rock. He is the hammer. You are the nail. And I think he might have a really good chance to play a ton of fullback, H back, tight end. Shout out Tyson Baxter. He's not going to be big, but you know that huge bastard Patrick Ricard. I don't know what position he is on Baltimore. He's like a fullback, offensive lineman, tight end hybrid. They never give him the ball, but he just blocks his ass off. And this Oos from Alabama, I think he might be that kind of dude that never gets the ball but blocks his ass off. And we know those guys are critical.
definitely. I think he's gonna quickly become a fan favorite, like a huge check.
Yeah, yeah.
Everyone's gonna be chanting Oost,
I
even if
love it.
he's
I
just in
love
there for
it.
the block.
Okay, let's go through this a little bit, man. I don't know if Arroyo has suspect hands, and I haven't really read much on him, but I like watching the highlights. I like physically seeing what they're doing. And Arroyo's fast as shit. And you mentioned the size. No one's gonna beat DK Metcalf. And I'm kind of glad they didn't look for his replacement. DK Metcalf is a freak show. But just get good players and kind of evolve around them. That's the smarter strategy. I want to ask you then, Jalen Milrow. Kind of a interesting prospect. His talent's outrageous. He's wildly inconsistent game to game, but he's a third round pick, so I feel the risk is not very punitive. What do you? Any thoughts on Jalen Milrow out
I
of Alabama?
honestly, I was hyped. I was hyped when we got him, like where we got him, and yeah, I mean, even though he's not polished, the athleticism he has is it's untapped. Like he could be great, like or he could flop. He could just be like a running back or whatever. But he has the potential to be Lamar Jackson or someone. And yeah, taking him in the third round, like what was he, our fourth or fifth pick? I mean that's really not a huge risk, especially when you're in quarterback is one of the most important positions on the field,
Hmm.
and he's in a great situation because we got Sam Darnold locked up for 3 years or potentially 3 years, and so he doesn't have to start. We're not banking on him this year. If he gets in for some plays, that's going to be great. Like whatever packages, some Wildcats or something, and he can learn. Like he's got time to grow. So we got time to harness all that athleticism he has. So
Yep.
he could be could be a phenomenal pick a couple years down the road.
I love it. I love your optimism, and I think you made such the key point here is that we don't need to rush him. I think his career would probably fizzle if he had to start day one somewhere. And if you need a rookie to start day one, you probably have a shitty team to top it off. We have Sam Darnold, we have Drew Lock, now we have Jalen Milrow. Just in terms of the quarterback depth chart, dude, this is the best the Seahawks have had since like Hasselback and Seneca Wallace.
Yeah.
In terms of the starting quality plus the quality of depth. So I absolutely love it. And you're right. Milrow, the only better running quarterback I believe right now in the NFL is Lamar Jackson. I would put Jalen Milrow literally as a number two running quarterback in football. As crazy as it sounds, he hasn't even played yet. But just look at the guy, man. He's like a 4.3 speed guy. And then you just told me, man, you were thinking, well, what if he fizzles? He could be a running back possibly. Because I just looked, he's listed at 6'2", 225. That's a big fucking running back running that fast. Even if he busts as a quarterback, his athleticism if he's willing to move around and the team's willing to move around, it might be a pick that can't bust. He just
Yeah,
might not be a pro quarterback.
they'll find a role like Taysom Hill. Like that's
Ooh,
probably the next best, type of option for him. Like maybe he tries to throw the ball every once in a while, or he's just in there to get snapped the ball and run down the field, or go out wide for a little tight end role or something. But they'll find something for him with all the athleticism.
yeah, no doubt, no doubt. It it's the rare kind of stuff too, dude. I'm not like you see it. He, some guys just have a different gear. Some guys clearly have a different speed than the rest of us mere mortals, and I do think he can become a better passer because he throws the ball beautifully. He throws with great velocity. He's actually got a great deep ball. I think to me, I like sometimes you can compare a quarterback to a pitcher. I think he's just kind of wild sometimes. But you know, Randy Johnson was very wild as a young man. He was able to harness his powers a little bit, play with a little more control, and you saw what happened. So I'm so optimistic because it's a third round pick and we have two guys we can already lean on, so we can really truly develop them the way we need to.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, sky's the limit, and I just feel like he's got a high floor. Like regardless if he quarterback or not, like he's gonna make it in this league. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Well, let's shift gears a little bit to the wide receiver room. Sunday evening media thinks it's really overcrowded right now. I say it's the perfect amount for the competition because we just traded the two best receivers the Seahawks have had for the last 5, 6, 7 years. You trade away your top two guys for that long, man. You better have a bunch of reinforcements and create some competition. Jackson Smith and Jigba, though, bro, I think he proved he can be a number one receiver in the league last year, but you always need help or they're just going to double team the shit out of you. Let's go to Cooper Cup. What do you think about signing the Eastern Washington legend?
I mean, I love it just because he's a local boy, so I love that aspect. But I think he's definitely injury prone at this point of his
Yeah.
career, and he's not the triple crown Cooper Cup from a few
Mm,
years ago. Um, so to your point, having all these options at running or at receiver this year, I I think I think we're gonna have to keep on probably an extra
mm.
receiver than normal, just from the aspect that I I don't feel comfortable assuming Cooper Cup is going to be healthy the whole year.
That's a really good point. That's a really good point, dude. We'd be fools to think that you could count on him for a full season. I think realistically, we should hope he plays like maybe 13, 14 games, just given his track record. Because you're right, man. He's a fantastic football player. No one's going to deny that. But we're a few years removed from when he had that fantastic Triple Crown Super Bowl MVP season, and smart moves by the front office, though. Valdez Scantling, not sexy, but look at his stats. The dude still makes big plays. The dude is still a big play waiting to happen, and he played with Clint Kubiak with the New Orleans Saints. That'll be a smooth transition for that particular player, Valdez Scantling, that is. And then they drafted two receivers, too, and Torrey Horton looks like a pretty big time stud. I know he had an ACL, I guess he's recovering from, but this is a guy a lot of people thought would be a much higher pick, maybe day two, especially without the injury. And then Ricky White out of UNLV was another late round pick. And to me, dude, you might not find star receivers late in the draft, but in this recent era of football, where these kids are doing 7-on-7s year around, it seems like you can find at least NFL quality receivers at any point of the draft. So I'm hoping maybe some young bucks can step up also.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of people are really hyped on Horton, so it'll be fun to see what he can do. And uh, see him out there with all the big guys. See what he can
Yeah,
do.
no doubt. No doubt. Steven Sims from Tyson's Baltimore Ravens. I think he'll make the team because he's a great returner. And I believe the NFL has made it more punitive again for the touchbacks. I believe that it's going to come all the way out to the 35. They just want more kick returns. These returners are so dynamic, and the kickers kick the shit out of the ball nowadays. And the fans want to see it too. We'd all rather see returns than it kick through the back of the end zone every single time. So I think he has a chance of making the team. It's going to be fighting for the fifth and sixth spots, though. Bobo. Everyone likes some Bobo. He's going to be fighting his ass off for a job. River Craycraft. He's a Wazoo Colt hero. He's going to have to fight his ass off. I mean, we're talking about Cody Weiss and Derek Young. So these are all guys, I think their ceiling is like fourth or fifth receiver guys. So some of these guys inevitably are just there to run routes for quarterbacks, depth, training camp. Football is tough to practice. So uh, that's a lot of names, man. I see a lot of guys that are on the fringe anyways. So we'll see how that all plays out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, one thing I want to add though is tight ends. I think we might see a lot of these receivers we named cut though, because you mentioned Arroyo. We still have the rookie from Michigan, and we still have Noah Fant. That's a really, really good quality tight end room. So we might be seeing a lot more two tight ends set, and maybe the receiver won't be as necessary game to game. But I'm just pumped. Our super producer Indio was telling us just before he went on that he wanted to see football right around the corner. But I gotta break it to you, man. I can't let the summer go past yet. The summer in the Northwest, man. We suffer through so much rain, bro. Football can wait a minute. Let us enjoy our little bit of sunshine.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's fun. It's fun getting excited for it, but yeah, I'm ready to enjoy these Mariners, especially as long as we can.
Let's go, baby. Gosh, I love it. Okay, I want to get to a dude really quickly, and super producer Indy. He is the one that tipped us off on him, and there's a lot of guys that go undrafted, bro. And I actually made a post on the Mile My page, Facebook page. Check it out. There's a bunch of fun highlights and different facts and whatnot. But Jared Ivey is an absolute stud defensive lineman out of Ole Miss. And our Indy tells me you got to look this guy up on YouTube, man. He looks really good. And Indy didn't understand how he wasn't drafted. I don't either. Then I looked him up a little bit. This Jared Ivey was probably supposed to be a third to fifth round pick, maybe even second. But I'm watching his YouTube, man, and he plays everywhere on the line. He's not as fast as Michael Bennett. He's not as quick, but he's that guy that plays everywhere, can rush from any angle. I see him rushing the quarterback, and he's great with his hands, smashing down the tackle's arms to get around and to get for the go for the quarterback. Second round pick, Tate Routledge, that every college football fan loves so much. Offensive lineman from Georgia. The very first YouTube clip, he swim moves him like he's a junior high guard, baby. So Jared Ivey coming from all angles. He has good hands. He has a bull rush. He has a swim move. So I really like him. The only problem, bro, is he didn't test well. But one man's trash is another man's treasure. I think this guy could actually be maybe a Doug Baldwin, but on defense, where they didn't like his combine measurables. But watch this dude; he's a good freaking player.
Yeah, what do they call it? His game speed's different. Might
That's
not
what
have
I'm
the
saying.
measurables, but his game speed's different. Yeah,
That's what I'm talking.
once the clock's rolling, he's a different man.
That's what I'm talking about, bro. So shout out Jared Ivey. Who knows if he'll even make the team, man? But Indy was absolutely right, man. I think this guy has a chance to surprise people. I can't believe it. The Seattle freaking Mariners, first place, early May. Let's freaking go, bro. Is there any other Seattle sports or anything on the national stage you want to get at?
I mean, I tried paying attention to hockey for the most part, but it got a little difficult towards the middle of the season. Just kind of seemed like they lost their drive, so I kind of fell off of that. And what we're on our third coach, fourth coach in 5 years or something like that. So
Yeah, you're
I
referring to the crack.
yeah to the Kraken, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, no, I mean for the most part, I'm mostly Mariners, Seahawks. Like ever since the Sonics left, I kind of don't pay attention to the NBA and pay a little
Let's
bit of
do it,
attention to
man.
college.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. And it sucks because the Kraken are kind of a mess right now. They have one winning season, and Western Washington was on fire when they were good because it's fun to follow a winner. Tyson Baxter wants to know, what do you think of the Shador Sanders falling in the draft? Is it a big deal? Is it a nothing? In between, what do you think, dude?
Um, Hopefully, if anything, it was just a humbling experience for him, and I maybe a motivator. Like I don't like. I feel bad about that prank call he got. Like I think that was wrong, and
Hmm.
he has the talent. Like I don't. I'm with everyone not seeing why he drops so low. Like there's something else behind the scenes, or maybe people didn't like his attitude or something. But I don't know. It's one of those ones you just gotta wait and see. It's who knows what's gonna happen with the Browns. Like, I mean, that's where they got like five quarterbacks right now.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
and I think it's completely wide open. So I mean, he needs to let his game play, like just silence all this noise, and if he wants to prove something, prove it. Otherwise, this is gonna be the narrative for him for his future.
Well, if he is that good of a quarterback, he could probably beat out the ragtag bunch the Browns have acquired recently. But it is wild to me because I see a quarterback, like I've said a million times, he throws the ball accuracy, he throws with anticipation, and he's willing to get his ass kicked in the pocket to deliver the football. Those are the three qualities you have to make it in the NFL. You have to be a fantastic athlete, though. I don't know if he's that guy. But I agree with Tyson. It's a little fishy, but the people that are getting very extreme about it, I also don't agree with, though. I think this is a situation where it's kind of tough because in the world you want to be yourself, but honestly, in a job interview, you always want to put your best foot out there, and whether the employer wants to hire you or not, you always really got to put your best foot forward, man. And you're super polite, you're super cordial, you are going to agree with things maybe you don't really agree with deep down inside, bro. But in a job interview, tell me, don't you got to just do your best to get hired? And so you kind of got to leave your personal feelings aside. And I don't know if that happened.
Yeah, and yeah, exactly. No, I'm right there with you. Every job I've gotten hired on for or applied for, I was, you know, peak politeness and try
Mm.
and be most formal I've ever been type of deal, and making sure I get that job. And then, months down the road after I got the job, that's where I start opening up to who I really am, and giving more opinions or whatever. Like at first it's not your place. Like you're not there yet. So yeah, I mean I think you need to be humbled a little bit for sure, but
Mhm.
who knows?
I actually have one more thought though that I didn't really dawn on me until between this episode and last episode is I think it's important for these guys to have agents. I know Deion Sanders has been through countless business transactions in professional sports, but agents are kind of like that go between the player and between the teams. And I feel that an agent would have helped him get drafted higher because they're going to tell you what to say in these interviews. They're going to tell you what you should do to prepare for this team, that team, or the other. So I just want a lot of these players to consider hiring real agents again. Everyone wants to praise Bobby Wagner, which it's awesome. It's awesome. But you're Bobby fucking Wagner. You're gonna get paid, bro. He's at that stature where, he's like, I'm gonna represent myself for the Seahawks. Well, everyone on planet Earth knew at that time he was the best linebacker on Earth. Of course, you're gonna get that giant contract. We can't play without you. But when you're a rookie trying to get into the league, you need that agent to help you through the process.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't think Dion is probably the best agent. He's definitely known for his ego, and I mean, credit to him. He earned it. He is a phenomenal athlete and one of the best to ever do it. But probably should have passed that mentality on to his kid going trying to get into the NFL.
Hmm. Hmm. It's not, we all want to circle the wagons with our families, with our friends, with our loved ones. But sometimes in any part of life, it might be good to go out and get a professional. I can fix some things at the house, but if I got to go electrical, I better call someone or some bad shit's going to happen.
100%. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't mess with electrical.
Yeah, no doubt, and that can go across the lines. I think Tyson Baxter said it best last week, though. All that matters now is the guy. His profession is NFL quarterback. Now we'll see what happens, man. It's a tough league. You got to play your ass off, or they will get rid of you. It's just that simple.
Yeah, gotta let his game play.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, baby. Dude, it's been real fun, man, and I'm glad to have a Northwest homer in here with me. I'll always be real when the team's doing shitty. I'm not afraid to admit that, but I love our teams, man. And when you're up here in the Northwest, it kind of feels like they're always going to get forgotten, and that's okay. I don't really give a shit about that. We just got to get some wins, man. We got to win these series, bro.
Keep stacking them up.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it. I almost messed up again. I almost said Oakland. Our beloved Mariners are heading up to Sacramento to try to get another series win. Anything else you want, man?
No, I think we hit pretty much everything. Just need the Mariners to keep rolling and hope these injuries subside and we start getting healthy and just hope for the best. I mean, they're
Yeah,
giving
no
us every
doubt.
reason to stay optimistic. So till otherwise, I'm gonna stay optimistic.
Oh, hell yeah. We've had way too many losing seasons in our life to get grumpy about a first place team, bro.
Right? Yep. Take
And
your
we got
wins when
we
you
we
get them.
gotta we gotta stack them. We gotta stack these wins, man, because the AL West ain't going away, man. They got some feisty teams in this division. So I'm just glad that we're off to a great start, man. This is my oh my. It's another sports podcast. Once again, shout out to super producer Indy, rocking the ones and twos Vaden podcast services. They are the magic behind this thing. I want to give a giant shout out to everybody in the live chat dropping the dropping knowledge, telling jokes. We just love the energy and the fire from y'all. I gotta give the hugest shout out to my man RG. We miss you, big bro, but I understand you gotta get the grind. We gotta pay the bills. But Jerry B, thank you so much, man. Say goodbye to the people.
Yeah, no worries. Later, everyone.
My oh my, it's another sports podcast. Thank you so much. Get at us, people.